PERT charts, Program Evaluation Review Techniques. That's what it stands for, P-E-R-T. And what a PERT chart does, it breaks down the project into components. It breaks down the activities and the events, the tasks that you have to do. And it gives you a timeline. It schedules it all. It puts it into sequence, and some of the activities that you do in a project, or the tasks or the events, are related to each other, can be related to each other. And they put the duration in the form of a network, as you can see behind me, this network. And all the lines that join each task together is called a path. And the longest line, the main line, is called the critical path. So what that is, that's the whole length of the project, the critical path. And all the other paths is the time that it takes to get to that. Now, any delay that you have between the paths or on the paths has a critical effect on the critical path. It will delay the whole project. So it's important that you do everything that you're required to do in those activities or events. So it's a scheduling tool. It doesn't help you find a better way or a shorter way to do the project. It's purely a scheduling tool, but it's a very good tool. Now what we're going to do now, and I'm really going to enjoy this, is show you what we've done on the board, and we're going to organise a student party. This is great. So what we've got up on the board, as you can see, number 1 is the start. So quite a few of us at the college has said, why don't we have a party, student party? So we've had a little informal meeting. So we said, yeah, let's do it. So we've had the idea, and we've started the idea off, number 1. We've taken a day, we've organised a few people to have the first meeting, the kick-off meeting. And at that meeting, we're going to discuss the dates we're going to have it, the time, the theme, and we're going to list everybody or give tasks for people to do. Because in organising a student party, it takes a bit of time and it takes a bit of organisation. So we've had the kick-off meeting, and we've organised somebody to look at where we're going to have it, the venue. You know, and that might take that person 2 or 3 days to find out the venue, the best options, and so forth. Then we've had, as you can see here, number 4. That task is to organise the food and beverage. What type of food? Remember, we're international students. Some are vegetarian, some are Muslim, some are Christian, it doesn't matter, but there's got to be different food. So that could be a bit of a time-consuming thing. But we've said it might take a couple of days to look at that. I haven't written days here just for the expedience of the operation. So that's number 4, the food and beverage. And in number 5, from our meeting, from the kick-off meeting, somebody has to organise the entertainment, the music, the Gangnam Style. I love that. Okay, so we've got the entertainment. Now that might take 3 days to organise. So when all of these things are organised, we wait a day and we go to number 6, is our budget meeting. Freeze the budget. So all of these people, the venue options, the food and beverage, the entertainment, they'll find out what it all is, how much it's going to cost. So before we can go further, we need to know how much it's cost. So we have a freeze the budget meeting. We have another meeting. These are the reviews, the review times. First meeting, the second meeting. We find out how much it's all going to cost, and then we say, how are we going to get the money? Somebody's got to pay for it. We want the students to have it free, if possible, because students don't have much money, as we know. So we have this meeting, we say it's going to cost X amount of dollars. What do we do next? So we go and we look for sponsorships. That's number 7. You can see how it's all in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we look for sponsorships. We know how much it is. Let's get the money. Now that might take 7 days. It might take a fairly long time. The first person you approach, of course, is the college that you're at. Can you give us some money for the student fund, for the student party? Then you might get some other outside sponsors and so forth. So once we know we've got the sponsorship, we know we've got the money, then we go to number 8, which is up here, and we're going to book the venue and the entertainment. We book it for the certain date, book the band or whatever music, the DJ, the karaoke for the certain date, and we know how much money we've got and we can allocate the money for that. Now number 9 down here, we say that booking the venue might take a couple of days. Now number 9 here is, who are we going to invite to the party? We need to invite all the students. So that's what we're doing here. We're sending out the invitations. That might take a couple of days to do that. Then we need to know how many people are going to turn up. And of course, some students never reply, they just turn up. And that's okay, we'll take that into account. So we wait for another 7 days and we get the confirmations. Who's going to turn up? I know that I'll be there. I love the party. Then, once we know who's attending, how many are attending, we can book the food and beverage. We can book the catering. We can tell them how many people are coming. Then we can work out our budget. We tell the caterer what our budget is. So instead of having great big sit-down dinners, we'll have finger food. So that's number 11, book the food and beverage. And of course now we're going to have the final meeting, the review. And that's what we're doing here at number 12. And we look at everything. All the venues been booked, the entertainment been booked, the food and beverage has been booked, all the sponsorship money has come in to pay for everything. And that's what we organise, we review everything. Right, are we ready to go? That's what we say. Everything's organised, everything's go ahead. And of course number 13 is wacko, let's party. And away we go. Plenty of dancing, plenty of eating, not too much drinking, but plenty of dancing and eating. That's what a PERT chart is. It breaks down into components, then the components into activities and events, how long it'll take, the dates. We can, put a start date here and an end date here. We could put, a date. But to make it easier, we've just put days. So a program, evaluation and review technique. And that's what we've done. The program is the whole party. The evaluating everything that we have to do, breaking it down into tasks, giving people jobs, organising the money. And at each step you can see the first meeting, second meeting, third meeting, party. All these paths, and here's the critical path, all the way along there, from start to finish. The PERT chart.